That's a very difficult question. I think it's very hard to tell parents what they can do to their child or what they cannot do to their child and what to feed them.
Would it be useful if child obesity would be legal, if there was a law that would punish parents if their kids were super fat?
I don't think that there should be
Personal lifestyle choices.
Yeah, it's a personal life choice. Yeah.
So a morbidly obese child is a parenthood choice, it's a lifestyle choice in your opinion?
In general, yes. Of course, it's dangerous health-wise. No argue there.
If that's well established, shouldn't there be a way to prevent it from parental neglect?
For example, higher taxes on sugary drinks or sweets.
And if it still doesn't work?
Is freedom of personal choice.
In the end, we live
Freedom
in a
of personal
democracy.
choice.
Okay.
In the end, we live in some kind of democracy, so people have the freedom of choice, freedom of lifestyle, and the state should not intervene in this case. This is
So it's not child abuse if your child is morbidly obese, but it is if you give it alcohol? I don't understand.
Is it okay? You caught me a bit off guard with all this whole interview. I wasn't prepared to talking about child abuse and morbidly obese and alcohol.
I'm sorry.
So I would still say that the addiction levels and the diseases associated with alcohol and tobacco and the health risks might be more severe than in most cases of obesity. The extreme cases of obesity might be, of course, higher than the milder or even the normal cases of alcohol. But I would say that liver and gut cancer and lung cancer, which stem usually from alcohol or tobacco, have more severe pain in most cases than obesity, at least to my knowledge.
I think there's a difference between having one cigarette and one donut. One cigarette has more severe consequences than one donut or one soda.
I would agree with you. Let's say my kid is 100 kilos and I get warning from the doctor. I don't listen, I don't care. What should happen to me?
It depends on the situation. Maybe some kids are kind of ill, genetically caused that they are overweight.
There's some people they was born with a low metabolism because metabolism is responsible about the percentage of burn fat in our body, but unfortunately those people, it's too hard for them to get skinny.
I agree with you. Some conditions, it's much more hard work to keep them in a healthy weight. What if my kid is diabetic? Well, then I should try more as a parent, but it's still my responsibility, no?
It's a tough situation. I would prefer the parents to be responsible in being a good model for the child, because the state could also be misusing the situation.
That's the main contradiction I see here as well, because I'm no fan of governmental interventions, and I don't think the government should be able to get too much into personal decisions of one's life. I'm thinking about educational programs to get parents to take this responsibility seriously, and maybe this would be a sort of a punishment. Maybe you could cut Kindergeld, maybe. This would be a punishment.
So some type of fine, you pay some money.
Yes,
You don't get some money.
Money you usually get for just having a child. Every month you get a certain amount of money because you have a child. And maybe state could be allowed to cut this.
Do you
money.
think that would make a net positive impact? Do you think the next generation of children would be healthier if there was something like that?
That's hard to say, because I can imagine that parents would react if they take my money. I can't buy better food. If you lose money or if you have less money per month, your chances to get healthy food lower.
Okay. But you can get less food.
You can get less food.
But neglect is a very abstract concept. What is neglect for you?
Like if you let your child in the woods,
Children-
if you abandon your child for 3 days.
If you abandon your child, this is obviously neglect.
Don't you think letting the child eat whatever he or she wants is kind of neglect? It's kind of being absent?
Yeah, of course, it's a kind of neglect. You can control the amount of sweets then the child can have.
Yes.
You can.
So it's your job to control what the child eats, you say.
It's a job of the parents to control what their children eat.
And if they do their job so bad as they harm their children consistently, isn't that bad?
Not per se. That's not like, okay, we have like the strict definition of child neglect. Also, it's very hard.
Many of the shitty parents let their kids eat junk and then they become huge and they don't even care. Take your PlayStation and leave me alone.
Yeah, even rich people. Yeah, but
I have no solution for that.
yeah.
You have no solution. I just proposed the
Not
solution,
really a
but you don't
solution
like it.
which works for everyone. I would prefer to educate people.
I wish it was enough, but I think
Yeah.
it's not enough.
That's what we did the best way, but in some cases it won't work. I think.
There will always be like fallouts or people who don't care.
So I think the question is it serious enough to have a morbidly obese child? Is it a serious enough problem and responsibility to hold you accountable by law? I cannot find why not. That's why I'm here and asking this question to other people, because I cannot convince myself otherwise.
Yes. Yeah, I see your point, but I think this is a very complex law.
Maybe there should be rules to parenting in general, like a license to have a kid, like from the first place. Like before you can have a kid, you have to do like a course. Because I think why parents do that to their children is often because they don't know better. I mean, they don't want to do that on purpose, I think.
There are different levels of neglection, I would say. And maybe this is not as hard as a neglection as any of the other terms we discussed, as alcohol or cigarettes.
Can we assess how bad it is from the outcome?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
So I'm against the law punishing parents for neglect per se, because that's not a defined legal term.
So for you, morbid obesity is not proof enough that the child has been neglected enough to punish the parent. Do I read you well?
Yeah, per se, yes. In the broader sense, yes.
So there is healthy or morbidly obese children and unhealthy?
Take the child.
No, it's just an individual case to say this is neglect and this is not.
But obesity has ever been good?
If you want to put it like this, if there's a morbidly obese child and it learns, okay, I was morbidly obese and I got healthy, and I took to sports, for example, and no, because I was morbidly obese, I don't know how to eat healthy, for example, it would be a silver lining. If you learn from your mistakes. Right now, I don't know what your kind of goal is.
I still think I haven't gotten a good argument.
Lifestyle choices.
Of the parent, yes, but the child has no responsibility for what they eat. Do you agree?
Oh, of course, a child can choose to eat some things and some things not.
In a young age, parents are fully responsible, but maybe even age 10 or 12, they can make their own choices and think about what they want to do and maybe what they want to eat or what they should eat and how much they should eat. So I would say that at one point, there's also the choice of the children.
I think it's very hard. People will get very pissed off because free will,
Yeah.
but I get the point.
Yeah, for me it's like it's such a difficult question. I feel like I would have to think about it a lot to really know my own opinion. But yeah, in general, sure, it's child abuse, and I think the general idea of parents getting like some consequences when they do something like that to their child would be okay. Yes.
So are you comfortable with saying that child obesity is child abuse?
Yes.
Okay, would you agree?
I mean, it's still abuse if they just don't know better, so yeah.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
sure.
I see your face and you're thinking really hard, and I wonder if I have shifted your perspective a little bit.
Of course, you have shifted my perspective about thinking about child obesity. We discussed now for a long time, and I still don't have a proper argument against this, because I think you shifted my perspective in this case, that I think, yeah, maybe there should be a certain law at least, and then the decision should still be made individual by case, but given a child is 5 years old and weighs 85 kilos, then yeah, people should come there and see, maybe keep them on close eye.
Thank
and then